Hello everybody, Всем привет. Today we're working on the ultimate artifact puzzle. So this is like what the ultimate artifact puzzle looks like. Um, just a couple different screens of that, and these are the individual puzzle pieces. The actual location of each of these puzzle pieces is encoded in the puzzle specs. You don't have to rebuild this digital puzzle from all these different pieces. The coordinates are given for each one, so that was nice to discover because I was putting it off until the end because I was kind of worried about having to manually reassemble this weird jigsaw puzzle. Um, when you find the ultimate artifact, it gives you this notification. Um, and here's the puzzle spec here where it lists every puzzle piece, and you can see there's an offset X and Y for every single one. And so you can use that to reassemble the puzzle. Then I gave it a whole bunch of my code. So those were the main visual inputs, and then yeah, I gave it a whole bunch of my code. Let me see if I can make this text a little bigger. It might be more useful. So for every obelisk event, this byte 8 code is 9B. Hero gets to see a few puzzle pieces be removed from the map. The existing event for 9B Obelisks already displays a dialog box with some story text about the obelisk. And then when the player clicks OK, it should take them to this puzzle map. The puzzle map can be reached from the second adventure button on the adventure panel in the upper right corner. So that is basically this thing here. So we currently haven't found any yet. And we'll check that out in a second. But anyway, then it plays this sound when you find it, and it will show you the map. And the puzzle map's revealed after the obelisk event 9B is triggered and the player clicks OK, or the puzzle map can be opened from that button in the adventure panel, which again is this button 2 here in the adventure panel. The map of the ultimate artifact uses the red X marker from the route ICN that it uses to represent the location of the ultimate artifact. That X marker remains hidden under the puzzle pieces of the map until all obelisks have been found. The map that was shown in the world map with ground tiles and forests and everything else from object 32 to object 3207, but no creatures, no resources, no treasure chests, and artifacts. So basically all of these kinds of objects are not shown. Looks like the screenshot above, similar to world map, and that it's replaced. Again, when we do this, it's similar to world map, but it also has this this exit button here. If we go to world map here, you see this is what you see there. So I explain all of the pics, like basically just these map tiles are 32 by 32 pixels. And we're going to show about 16, I think it might be 15 by 16. I forget what the actual dimension is of this screen, but I want to say it's about 16 by 16 because I think this, when you move this around, is a 16 by 16 square. And yeah, the puzzle is 6 pieces wide by 8 pieces tall. So there's 48 puzzle pieces, and we have to search for how many obelisks there are on the 72 by 72 map, and then when loading the map, we set the number of pieces to reveal. So if there were 8 obelisks, we would reveal 6. If there were 24, each obelisk would reveal 2. If there are 4, each would reveal 12. So I've attached a puzzle spec with all the puzzle pieces. The location of the ultimate artifact is set on the map. It must be a clear tile that's diggable. No monsters on the tile, no objects, no resources, no treasure chests, no shrines, no artifacts. and it can be randomly chosen. The map is displayed as a 16 by 16 tile map that has one of the 4 center tiles being the X marker, and the puzzle piece in the center of that covers the X must be the last puzzle piece to be revealed. So a hero can still dig for the artifact if they see the context from the map, but they will have to do some guessing. Finally, the X marker, where it is. If it can be either selected at random upon dig or selected when the map is generated. So I don't actually know how the game does it, but it doesn't really make a difference. I guess the main difference would be that if you saved the game at some point and it was generated on map startup, then you would constantly get the same ultimate artifact when you dug for it. But if it's generated in well, in the moment that you dig up the ultimate artifact, then each time you dig it up, it would be different. And I suppose you could game that if you ran the saved game, and then you could game the randomness and just keep reloading until you get the artifact you want. So I looked these up. I think this is the right... I think it's Cloak of Protection and Wand of Magic. I think that's correct. And then I said, anyway, help me create the puzzle map, track the revealing of the puzzle map as each player visits the puzzle map. We mark obelisks as visited by that player, and the number of visited obelisks relative to the number of obelisks determines how many puzzle pieces can be revealed. The same puzzle pieces are revealed each time per game. It's not random each time you view the map. So we should track which puzzle pieces are revealed in each game. We should track that state in memory. So it starts, does some, huge amount of processing, comes up with some ideas here. Again, lots and lots and lots of AI processing here. Just goes and goes. Finally comes up with a plan. And I have to even hit continue. And at some point I see resetting the hero's movement points after finding the ultimate artifact is something that it talks about in here. Because I read through these comments while the AI is processing, and sometimes I'll interrupt it. And so it said it was resetting the hero's movement points after finding the ultimate artifact, which is not at all what happens. Like, you're supposed to spend all day digging and your hero can't move anymore that day. And then it also couldn't find the viewport stats, which were from layout.h. It started making them up, and so I stopped the AI and put these, just pasted these in. And then I said, please implement the patches in the full game files. The risk of copy-paste errors is too great. That's what I always tell the AI, to just do the work for me, spend the tokens. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It also was going to scale, because I think I was actually wrong that it's 16 by 16. It might be like 15 by 12 or something like that. And so it was going to, for 480 by 480 with 32 tiles, that's what it is. 480 by 480 is a 15 by 15 grid of 32 pixel tiles. So 32 times 15 is 450, and 15 times 2 is another 30, so that's 480 pixels. So I had said 16 by 16, so the game was like, or not the game, the AI was like, well, let me resize that to 29 pixels. And I said, no, we're gonna stop that too. So you can see here, it's like starting to do this estimation of 16 by 16, and I realized it's my fault for giving it the wrong information. It's trying to do right by what I told it, but I realized my mistake and paused it and corrected the bad information. I also gave it my drawing logic from render map. Mainly because it was looking for some information that it couldn't find, and I threw that in as well. So then we keep going, and it generates this new file, puzzle map, updates the adventure panel to fix the you know, to make this button work here. This is the adventure panel run by apanel.cpp. It updates the event stuff for the obelisk, basically, and it loads in the puzzle sprites into puzzle view puzzle BMP, which is this piece up here, and then it loads in all these different puzzle pieces from puzzle.icn. So and then make some updates to game main. So we run this, and let's actually have a look at what happens. So we do get this. I don't have the fade in. I don't do the fade in on this yet. But you can see there's like a little gap here where it's off by the puzzle map is covering most of the area. There's still a little gap around the edge here, but this is off by half a pixel. So that's the first thing that I need to correct. So let's just go look at a couple more tiles. Okay, well, it's probably right in front of the graveyard, I'm guessing. But you can also see that it's displaying the treasure chests here. You know, the castle isn't being displayed. That's cool. It's not displaying monsters. It's not displaying the griffins, but it's displaying the treasure chests, the shrine, some of this other stuff that maybe shouldn't be displayed on that map. So that's kind of the current state of the build after this, and I was initially happy with it, and so I updated the documentation, and okay, it made me some updated documentation. That's great, but then I realized, again, like I just showed you guys, this was off by like half a pixel, or not half a pixel, half a tile. So it's probably like what's happening is it's being shifted over here, and you can see maybe the shift is happening over there, and then the board tile is not covering it, essentially. So so that's one issue, and you can see it again here in a different way. And what I actually noticed here, if you see very closely, you can actually see where the X of the map is being revealed here. Now I remember, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, way back in 1995, when I first bought this game, or maybe I got it in early 96, I don't remember. I think I was playing this game in late 1995. The demo was available on the Might and Magic Trilogy disc. And so I think I bought it. I bought the full version of the game in April of 1996. I'd have to go back and watch my first video and have a look at that receipt, because that's when I actually bought the game. Now that version was version like 1.1 of Heroes of Might and Magic, the DOS version 1.1. And I remember somewhere seeing an update for the 1.2 patch where they fixed this situation where occasionally this ultimate artifact X would be revealed before all the puzzle pieces were. So I think this was even a bug in the original version of the game. Now, so anyway, I explained that shifted over, and then this is kind of the center, like 7-7 with 0-based 15 by 15 grid. 7-7 is the exact center. And so I said, well, maybe we should be doing 6-6, 8-8, or 6-8, or 8-6, which would be more like here in the center of each of these tiles. Maybe that's the correct location, and you just have to make sure that each map puzzle piece covers the X properly. And so I uploaded a new version where I removed the addition of player stats, which was already happening somewhere else. So that was another bug that I had encountered that I guess maybe I could have demoed on the last one, but it would have taken a little while. Where basically you dig up the ultimate artifact, it gives you plus 12. I don't know, the ultimate sword of dominion gives you plus 12 attack. But what was happening, at least the AI misinterpreted me and said, okay, this artifact gives you plus 12, but also when you dig up the artifact and it happens to be the ultimate sword of dominion, we're just going to add 12 to your stats. So I was getting a plus 24 for my ultimate sword of dominion find when I was testing this, and I went in and looked at the code, and it was both giving me the artifact bonus and a sort of manual bonus added to my stats for finding it, which is cool. That's a nice, that's a nice bug to have, getting double ultimate artifact bonus. That's like the super mega ultimate artifact, but it's not correct game behavior. So I wanted to clean that up, and I just went in and manually deleted that and threw the correct version back in here to to save the AI from having to do that for me. So first, remove the fixed constants of like the 7, 7. It's going to update this position, and it's going to try and shift the canvas by 16 pixels in the render function. So we did a few of these updates, and let's have a look at what came out of that. So this build is called Ultimate Artifact Shifted. So I think that that's probably correct. So let's go have a look at the ultimate artifact. Okay, that looks all right. It's a barbarian, give him a dragon just in case. We'll get us an artifact. Another look. Okay, we're getting closer here, but now see all three of these have been removed, so I'm pretty sure the ultimate artifact is under here, which is basically, I mean, we're still seeing treasure chests here, which we're not supposed to, so that's still something that needs to change. But let's just send our heroes up and see if they can go dig. See if they can go dig that. Yep, that's another bug. And send him up, and let's even recruit somebody else. Okay, that's because we're not on Joe Josh. We're on Sun. Okay, and we'll send Joe Josh up as well. So I think it's about here. Let's just go cover this tile too, and we'll send Tyro up as well. Come in as some backup in case we don't find it the next day, but it's probably one of those two tiles, so let's see what we get here. Oh, we found it. Okay, that's playing the wrong sound, but we did find the ultimate cloak of protection, and you notice that this dig icon is being drawn as a level 2, which means, or layer 2 maybe, I call them level 2 generally, but it's over the creature, so we're gonna have to fix that. But we do have the ultimate cloak here, and our defense is not being calculated here. The bonus isn't being calculated now, so that's weird, right? Well, let's go, now it suddenly is when we do that. So it initially wasn't being computed, and now it is. So it's sort of working. Still got a few bugs. So But yeah, anyway, the underlying map tiles were shifted correctly, but now the puzzle piece covering was shifted right, also by 16 pixels. And then I think I'd said level 1 objects only, but let's also display level 2 objects. So both L1 and L2 objects are being displayed, including some trees in the top of Damon Cave are missing. Ah, that was kind of an intro. Let's go back and just have a quick look at that and see if we can see an example there. Oops, we're gonna have to fight some griffins first. I don't know if I see that or not, but let's go have a look here. Yeah, so some of the trees, I think the trees are looking a little sparse. Let's see if we can move Atlas down here. We're gonna have to still reset one more time, but yeah, there's definitely something weird going on with the mountains here and the trees. There's an L1, L2 discrepancy that wasn't being handled correctly, and that showed up with the Damon Cave not like showing the top of the Damon Cave. I wonder if I actually had that up here. Yeah, you can actually see it here as another example. The Damon Cave, the top of it was just gone. See here that the trees, the top of them is cut off. So that's the L2, layer 2, level 2 sprite, however you want to call that. So I'm calling that out here. So let's figure that out. And then I also want to filter out these objects by their byte 8 tile map value too. So we've got our treasure chests, which are 86. We've got different monsters, which are C3 to C6 or 9A or BF, which is very rare, but it does happen occasionally. BF is like, this would show up as the Windows 95 like map editor sprite. There's like a ball that's like kind of brown that indicates it's a random monster. That's what would show up there. Then you've got resource tiles, which are 9D for like a fixed resource, or BE, which is random. Random artifacts, I think, are BD, and B0, I think, is a fixed artifact. Campfires, or event tile objects like a signpost, buoy, gazebo, fountain, statue. I guess the other part of the statue, the lighthouse. I covered both pieces of the statue here, the L1 and L2. The lighthouse, which is 97, the 17, which is the upper parts of the lighthouse, the oracle shrine, the teleporters, the whirlpool, creature bank structures like the graveyard, the shipwreck, the windmill or the water wheel, the alchemist lab, mines, or sawmills, all these recruitment structures, you know, everything to the genie lab. So let's just filter all of that out. So it gave me a shot at all that, and let's have a look at what that build is here. Puzzle map mostly fixed is what this build was saved as. So let's send Vatana up to have a look at that. This looks better. I don't see any treasure chests in the map, so that's good. Okay, we're gonna probably be able to find this relatively soon as well here. I think it's like right in front of these centaurs is where I think it probably is. It's within a couple spaces, so we may as well dig for it and see if we can find it. Yeah, my guess is that it is somewhere on this little centaur vector here. So let's get rid of the centaurs. And maybe we'll guess we'll try maybe here first. And let's get Troyan all the way over there too that's another bug I gotta fix. Now let's get Vatana back up there as well. So let's see if Atlas can dig it up on his first shot. Nope, no dice. Let's get Vatana in place. And let's get Troyan in place. So probably one of these spots is where we're going to... And actually that's weird because that should have said you've already been to this obelisk. Okay, that's a minor bug. I may have to fix that one as well. I always find new bugs when I'm demonstrating this on a video. Nothing here. Okay, let's see if Vatana's got it. Oh, there we go. So, did she get the plus 12 bonus? She did. So that's nice that that's now computing correctly, at least, on the initial pickup. And the map is looking better, so that's cool. But I also wanted to filter out obelisks and the fairy ring. So we don't apply the bonus to the hero when they pick it up, but the artifact should update their effective stats automatically. I removed this from an earlier version because it was double counting, but now it's not counting. So I think the version I just showed you was actually after that. And now we need to make the hole digging render as an L1 object. So yeah, this is the next bug that I wanted to fix. And also this, we have to add this window where it says, congratulations, after many hours of digging, you've uncovered this. Because before, if you remember the thing we just saw, it says, oh, you found this artifact, it gives you plus 12. There's actually one extra window in the sequence that's the congratulations, you found the ultimate artifact, and tells you which one it is. Then it tells you what that ultimate artifact does. So we need to add in this extra notification dialog, this congratulations dialog, and then we need to add this L1 object. Well, the hole needs to be an L1, so that means the hero is drawn over the layer 1 object. Level 1, layer 1. And then also we update the sound that plays because it's playing like the windmill sound or the treasure chest pickup sound, which is not correct. It's actually this sound, which I guess I could pull up really fast and play for you. 1 second here. It's in this folder. And oh, actually, no, it's not in that folder. Hold on. It is in here. So let's just open this up in terminal. And we will quickly play this. It's Heroes 46, right? 46.82m-play. So this is the sound that plays when you find the ultimate artifact. That's what plays when you find that, well, when you get that menu. So it goes through, makes some changes, does a few things, and it made some big mistakes here. You're very wrong. You misunderstood. You thought I meant there are 2 dialogues and we should remove one. It's not correct. We want there to be 2 dialogues. First, the congratulations message, and then the second dialogue, which tells you which one it is. You erroneously replaced the stats layout with the ultimate layout, but we want both, and you erroneously remove the second event system announcement from game main CPP. So, okay, so it supposedly went and fixed that, and let's have a look at what the next build was. So this says puzzle map debugged, so it looks like we're probably pretty close to having this finished. So Got Gem the Sorceress here, one of my personal favorites. And let's get another one. Is this Astra? Ariel. Okay, Astra's got the grumpy face, I think. Okay, so we're looking at probably the middle finger of the claw, and you know what? You can actually see the X right here. You can see this little touch of the X right there. Ah, so close. So close. Well, we know where it is anyway, so let's still send Gem over to have a look at some of this, but yep, you can definitely see where it is, so we'll go up and retrieve it anyway and see what's going to happen. Okay, now where is this again? It is diagonal from these red flowers here, which we don't have them, so it's actually over on this side. We made a slight miscalculation here. We need to send our heroes back over. So I think I make one more improvement here, where basically on this map, I think I forced this to be inside a few more pixels, and if I didn't, then I need to even make it a few more pixels. I think I said 5 pixels, and this might be a good example of where 5 pixels wasn't enough, where it maybe needs to be 7 pixels in from the puzzle piece that covers it. So basically it's right there next to the castle. So I think Gem is standing on top of the location, but just in case, we'll get Ariel to go up there. Okay, great. Cyclops grew +5. Okay. So we found the ultimate cloak, and let's just double check the stats are processed correctly. That all looks good. So that was nice to see the sound work. I guess I wanted to change something in a panel CPP. And in the picture, we see the X marker peaks out. Can we do something in the computations where the X marker must be at least 4 pixels from the edge of the puzzle piece? So let's fix the puzzle piece logic. So it did something like that, and I don't, why did I put the spell fix in there? Oh, because I noticed in my game logic there was this adventure spells were I under 15, which is not true. So I noticed that, and I just, that was just another bug I noticed in passing. that it was classifying, like your hero wouldn't be able to cast, or it would show there were no spells to cast if you didn't have an adventure spell under 15. And I think I wasn't seeing that because I would have something higher than 15, like a Dimension Door or a Town Gate, which is a higher number spell. I would see that, but I would also have like a View Minds, which would prevent this bug from being caught. But I noticed it in the code, and I threw that in to get fixed at the same time. But the main fix here that I wanted to show you was that I had added this 4 pixels on each side of the puzzle piece. And that might not actually be enough. Maybe the real answer should be 6. I'm gonna, I guess, find that out as I bug test that a little more. And then there's also a second set of sounds on the second dialog box, and I want to remove both of those sounds. So it gave me some, because it was playing the pickup sound, and it was also opening some other sound when that happened. So can you update gamestate.md and events.md with some notes and do all this? And so it could be that 4 pixels was not enough because we just saw it. Again, I love it when, you know, it's like the Steve Jobs Apple demo when the thing broke on stage and somebody lost their job. It's like I try and demo this and I'm like, oh, I think it's mostly working. It's not buggy. And then I see the bugs just kind of happen as I'm demonstrating it to people. But yeah, anyway, we documented a little bit of this, the ultimate artifact puzzle. It's actually working pretty well. That was something I was dreading, mainly because I was worried I was going to have to manually reassemble that puzzle, like from first principles or something. put all those pieces back together and then be able to specify the position. But thankfully, the spec.xml took care of all that for me. And it's also possible that I have overcorrected and I've hidden too many structures from the map. But I'm going to find that out over the course of playtesting.